Hello students, today we will study about heredity. So let us start. There are certain similarities and the differences between parents and offsprings, and these are passed on from one generation to another generation. So how will it define inheritance? It is the transmission of characters from one generation to another generation by the means of gene or genetic code. Now there is a distinct structural and functional feature that is determined by a gene or a pair of gene. Now we have certain characters. We have some examples that can be seen in different animals of these trait or characters. Very first is the eye color. You can see in human beings that eye color, it may be that is black, or we have brown color eyes, or blue color it may be. Okay, but the common are black and blue. The fruit shape in tomatoes, it may be round and long, and the eye color in fruit flies, that may be red and white. Pod color in the garden pea, it is green and yellow, and the pod shape may be inflated and constricted. So we have a number of characters in different organisms. Next, Mendel's experiment. Let me tell you that George John Mendel was the first scientist to make a systematic study of patterns of inheritance, or he worked for to prove that the transmission of characters from parents to offsprings. Mendel chose garden pea as an experimental organism. Why he chose garden pea? Because the garden pea has a large number of it produces large number of seeds. It is an annual plant and it is bisexual also, and it can undergo both cross and self pollination. So basically he choose seven contrasting traits, and one example is here: tall and dwarf pea plants. Now how did he perform his experiment? Mendel worked on garden pea, and he chose garden pea as it bears both male and female parts, that is stamen and carpel. Now we have many varieties of pea plants that can carry out self pollination. It can easily be grown, and the very important, that is a short lifespan of this plant. The seeds were planted and the characters of the first generation offsprings were noted. They are termed as a true breeding lines. What did he performed? How did he perform his experiment? Firstly, he removed the stamen from the purple flower. The flower may be of two colors, that is of purple and white. He chose the stamen from one purple color flower, and he transferred the pollen grains from the stamen to the stigma of the another flower. So in this way he cross pollinated the two flowers, and he got the first generation flowers that will be again purple colored flower, because purple is a dominant trait here. Mendel chose pure breeding pea plant to study inheritance, because the plant that has self fertilizes, because this pea plant, it can self fertilize. All its offsprings resemble the parent plant that has the same characteristics as the parent plant. They shows the same traits as their parents obtain even after many generations of self pollination. Now here we have the flow chart to show that the seven characters contrasting traits studied by Mendel are: very first is a flower color. We have the dominant trait is a purple color flower, and this recessive is white color, and therefore generation will be a purple flower. The flower position, the position of the flower may be axial in position and it may be terminal in position. Axial, that means at the axial part, and terminal means at the tip, at the top of the plant. The seed color may be yellow. Usually you have seen that the color of the seed be maybe it is yellow, and sometimes it may be green. The seed shape, the all the seeds are never round in shape, so they may be wrinkled also. The pod shape may be inflated and it may be constricted. The pod color means fully. The color of pod is green and yellow. Stem length, here the length of the stem, this is a first character that he chose to study, and or he performed experiment all the other contrasting traits also. The stem length, the length of the stem may be tall, the plant may be tall, and it may be dwarf. So he hybridized all these two plants along with the different contrasting traits. That means tall dwarf, the plant with the green color pod and the yellow color pod with the exile flowers, and the terminal flowers with the purple color flower or the white flower. In this way he performed his experiment. So here you are able to see the Mendel's experiment between the tall and the short pea plant. So in this he took one tall pea plant that is represented by capital K's. Let me tell you that these contrasting traits are always represented by capital K's. Here if it is purple, then it is represented by P, and it is represented by small p. It is represented by small p. It is represented by capital P, it is represented by small p. If it is exile, it is represented by capital A, and it is by small a. It is represented by capital Y, and this Y small y. And it is by capital R, it is by small r. Same case will take one uppercase, upper alphabet, that means a capital letter, and one small letter. Here we have capital I and the small I. Here we have the G and the small g, and here we have capital T and the small t. So in this way he performed the experiment between all these 7 contrasting traits. So in this experiment he took one tall pea plant that is represented by capital T, that is represented by capital TT, that is a pair of gene, and the small t. So in this way he produced the F1 generation, that is capital small t, and these are tall. Now he performed further this hybridized in the F1 he self hybridized this T, capital T small t, with itself, that is like this, into capital T small t. So in this way he this Mendel, with the help of Punnett scare box, with the help of this scare box, he performed, he will get the 4 combinations after the experiment. That means capital T, capital small t, capital T small t, and capital T small t. In this way he performed his experiment, and the ratio of the plants will be here, that is capital T small t, capital T small t. One we have capital T, another we have small t small t. So what will be the ratio? That the ratio will be 3 plants are tall and 1 is dwarf. The ratio will be 3:1, as you are able to see in this image, in this diagram. It is there that 3 plants are tall and 1 is dwarf, 1 is short. So that is a parental generation. Then we have F1 generation and we have F2 generation. Now what do you mean by the parental generation? That is a original parents. F1 generation is the first filial generation, that is a resultant of the parent cross appeared in the first generation. Second filial generation is the resultant of the first generation when it undergoes the self pollination further. Now we have the terms genes and the alleles. Hereditary factors described by the Mendel genes, they are the factors. Okay, they are the factors, hereditary factors, that are described by Mendel as a genes. Genes are the basic unit of inheritance. Earlier we have studied. Position of the gene is called as loci. Position of gene is termed as loci. Allele is a pair of genes or the different form of a gene, or they occupy the same relative position on a pair of homologous chromosomes. Now we have dominant and the recessive trait. In the F1 generation, the plant received one allele from the tall pea plant and one from the small. However, they are tall. Hence the allele for the tall trait, they are said to be dominant. That means the capital T here is said to be dominant and the small t is said to be is recessive, because the capital T dominates or expresses itself. That is why it is termed as dominant allele. When the 2 different alleles of the same gene, in which one is dominant, the dominant allele covers the effect of recessive. All recessive alleles will express when there is no dominant gene. The capital letter is used for the dominant trait and the small letter is there for recessive trait. Homozygous, monozygote or heterozygous. Homozygous or heterozygous, there are 2 type of plants. We will get Suppose we have capital T and capital T small t, and one we have small t small t. Now what is the difference between these three? Let me clear you. In the Mendel's experiment, both pea plants are parallel, and so they were two breeding lines. Therefore, the tall pea plants had the two alleles, that is capital T capital T. As these alleles are similar, it is homozygous. The tall pea plant produce gametes which are carried to be, इससे अगर gametes produce होंगे, that means this capital T, when it will produce gametes, what gametes will be produced? Capital T. But in case when we have the two gametes produced by capital T small t, the two gametes are capital T small t, these are said to be heterozygous. These are said to be heterozygous. That means they had the allele for both tallness and for both dwarf. They had the allele for both tallness and dwarfness. One allele is for tallness and one for dwarfness or shortness. So such a pair of genes or a allelic pair is termed as a heterozygous. Let me give you another example. That is, here you have capital R small r. In this pair it is a heterozygous pair. But if we have capital R or small r, they are homozygous. They are a pair of homozygous. What did Mendel's first law of inheritance states? The Mendel's monohybrid cross states that we have the inheritance of one gene at a time. We have the inheritance of one gene, one character at a time. It involves one pair of alleles. So this is called law of segregation. When law of segregation comes to here, the members of each pair of alleles separate or segregate. Segregation means separation. During the formation of gametes, one allele can be carried in a single gamete. That means we have, suppose capital T small t, it will produce one tall capital and one small t. Now these are the two gametes, they separate at the time of gamete formation. Gamete formation, at the time of gametic formation, here this capital T small t is a parent and these two are the gametes produced from it. Now in case of dihybrid cross, we have the inheritance of two genes simultaneously. Now in this dihybrid, in the Mendel's second law of inheritance, that is a law of independent assortment, here there is a mistake in independent, then we have it states that there are two or more pair of alleles that segregate independently of one another during the formation of a gamete. So here we have shown the monohybrid cross, that I have told you. In a monohybrid cross, we have told two parents, one is tall and one is dwarf. One parent is tall, another one is short. So the tall parent carries the capital T and the short parent carries the small t. It will produce the gamete capital T, it will produce small t, and then we will have ultimately F1, that is a capital T small t. When it is self crossed, then we have the four combination. Out of these four, we have three tall and one dwarf, that is the ratio will be 3:1. Now come to the dihybrid cross. Here let me tell you, in this dihybrid cross we have we will study the inheritance of two genes simultaneously. So let us take the example of this round yellow and wrinkled green. Round yellow, round is represented by capital R, yellow is represented by capital Y, wrinkled is small r, and that is small y. So it will, we have capital R and capital Y, capital I, small r, and small y. The gametes produced will be capital R Y, and here it will be small r y. Now what will be the F1? That will be capital R small r, capital Y, capital, it will be capital R small r. The gamete, the resultant F1 will be here capital R small r, capital Y small y. Now what will be the next? When it will be self hybridized, we'll get the four type of gametes. What are these four gametes? We'll get capital R, capital Y, small r, small y, capital R, small y, and we'll get small r capital Y. So we have the four type of gametes from one F1, and when it is self crossed, then we'll have 8 gametes. Now what will happen next? Then we'll undergo the Punnett square box. We'll form a Punnett square box and keep these gametes like this. Keep these gametes like this. Suppose we have here capital R, capital Y, small r, capital Y, small r. Will have capital R, capital Y, small r, capital Y, capital R, capital Y. We have small r, small y, and we have capital R, small y. So similarly, we will place these like on the other side, on the left hand side, that is small r, capital Y, capital R, capital Y, small r, small y, and capital R, small y. So in this way, when we will multiply these, then we'll get 16. We'll get 16 plants, and these 16 plants, they are round yellow. They are round yellow. We'll get the four combinations which are in the ratio of round yellow, round green. One, we have wrinkled yellow and wrinkled green. Wrinkled green. So they are in a ratio of 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1. The ratio will be 9 is to 3 is to 3 is to 1 in the dihybrid cross. So let me show you how does we'll get this. Okay. That's all.